Alright, redoing this video again because last one didn't go through, but welcome back to the channel, guys. So today it's an interesting day. Boss was really creepy today. He came into work, usually not like that. The head honcho guy came into work. He said, "Brandon, come here." He pulled me close like this. He gave me this weird fucking hug, and he starts whispering in my ear, this dude. And I'm like, "Why are you whispering in my ear?" He's like, "No, I just listen to me. I want to talk to you one-on-one." I was like, "Yeah, what's up, dude? Like, I gotta go in." He's like, "I'm in a good mood today. I just want you to know that I hope you have a good day. I hope everything goes well for you. You know, today's it's a day for celebration. It's a special day." I'm like, "What day is it? What's the cause?" I'm like, "It's like, I don't know, man. It's Sunday." I'm like, "But dude, like, the fuck is..." I'm thinking, like, this guy is just saying weird shit after weird shit after weird shit. And I'm thinking, what is this dude on? And this dude just was not supposed to cross the street, but okay. And I'm thinking, like, this guy's just, I'm telling you, like, he's got this boombox in his hand and he's playing this weird fucking celebration music. And I'm just like, what is up with this dude? And then he turns to me and I look in his eyes. I'm like, there's no way this dude's the head honcho boss is fucked up at the job. But he was. This dude was like, it looked like he'd been smoking marijuana. His eyes were all red. He didn't smell of it, so I assume he was using the fucking oil pens. And the guy looks like he was fucked up on pills or some shit. I don't know. But the dude just kept whispering in my ear. He keeps whispering in my ear. So, like, 6 minutes go by, and I'm like, all right, I'm trying to, like, I'm finally pulling my arm away from this guy. Because he's got, like, half my arm, underneath his fucking arm. And in between his, like, arm and his elbow. And he's just, like, holding me there, whispering in my ear and shit. And I finally fucking pull my arm away. I'm like, yeah, I gotta go inside. That's great. Yeah, I'm glad you're in a good mood. And I'm just like, oh, Jesus, fucking weird. And, yeah, turns out, I guess he called somebody else. He called one of the other managers. I guess he has his phone number from another manager. And he called him at like 2:30 in the morning or some shit. Woke the guy up, dead sleep. And told him the same thing. I guess he was out somewhere. He was obviously out somewhere. He came from a bar, fucked up on something. I don't know, but the guy's just fucking weird. Anyway, so we're gonna get into this video's going to be out finally. This video is gonna be about the reasons. I'm gonna go into the reasons why I think people are leaving America. And the first reason is the food prices. Guys, the food prices ever since 2020 have just gotten absolutely fucking outrageous, okay? I used to be able to bodybuild on as little as, I think I was spending like less than $200 a month back in 2020 and 2021 on bodybuilding. I mean, it's like 220 something in 2021. I was not spending that much money on bodybuilding. I was eating really good for really cheap, and the portions were good. They were big. They were still big. And I was getting enough on it, no problem. And I was living good. Like, I was saving, like, I can't say. I finally had at least a taste of freedom. I lived with my narcissistic parents for over 20 years. I was like, finally, I got my first apartment at 26. Absolute shithole, but it was mine. At least it had padded carpet in there. Still, it was in the ghetto, but it was my fucking place. I could go in and do whatever the hell I wanted to. It was my place. All right, and I was eating fine. I was eating good. Everything was good, and I had spending money. It was great. I could pay my rent no problem. And then slowly but surely the years went by, and I pretty much got priced out of my apartment. When I left my apartment, it was at almost $1,200 a month, guys, just for the rent. And, fast forward to today, this was back in 2022, and fast forward today, rent prices are absolutely out of control. We're paying $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 for a 1-bedroom apartment, and it's not even in a good place. It's a ghetto ass fucking apartment for like $1,700. Yeah, it's not even quality. You know, and 2-bedroom apartments, two grand plus. Like, things have gotten out of control with living. And don't even get me started on houses, guys. Do not even start me on houses, because millennials, forget it. We couldn't afford houses back then. We can't afford houses back now. And now we can't even afford rent. So I get out of work every day, and what do I have to look forward to? Nothing. I have nothing to look forward to. As many of us, we have nothing to look forward to. We have nothing to look forward to. We get out of work, we go home to an apartment with fucking roommates, maybe 5, 6 roommates, or we go to a house with 5, 6, 7 roommates. Or if you have it really bad, you lived in a house with 12 people. This is the America that we were told that we were gonna get. Is this the America? Is this the American dream? Is this the America that we were told by our baby boomer parents that we were gonna be able to get if we just worked hard, we went to school, we got good grades, we get a good job, we wouldn't be struggling, right? We'd get the family, the white picket fence, cars. We get to live a decent life. You know, first and foremost, number one, we get to live a decent life. But what are we living in? We're living in filth. We're living in squander. We're living with roommates. We're barely able to pay our bills. We're adults with none of the privileges of being adults. We have, like my previous video I made, we are adults. We are adult-aged people in adult bodies living as children. Our jobs pay us child-sized paychecks, as Millennial Steam would say, that don't afford anything, that don't reflect the cost of living, number one, first and foremost, and number two, doesn't even afford groceries anymore. $30 an hour is like $20 an hour right now, how it was 5-6 years ago. $40 an hour is what $30 an hour used to be 5-10 years ago. $50 an hour is what $40 an hour used to be, and so on and so forth. We can't afford anything with these wages anymore, because the cost of living, the inflation that we're living in, is so out of control. The government spending has gotten so out of control. We have so much debt that if we were to bring all of the debt that we have outside of the U.S., because remember, the trillions of dollars of debt we have in the U.S. right now, if the trillions of dollars of debt we have in the U.S. right now isn't all the debt, we have debt in other countries. We have debt in other countries. If we were to bring the total cost of the U.S. debt, the total amount of debt that the United States owes, it would crash the economy overnight. It would. We have trillions of dollars more outside of the U.S. as of right now. We have trillions in the U.S. right now. We have trillions outside of the U.S. as well. You know, and going into the next point, the jobs just don't pay anything anymore. The jobs don't pay anything anymore. The employers do not want to pay employees anymore. Employers treat employees like children, like the previous 2 videos I made. Employers do not want to treat adults like adults. They do not want to pay them fair wages. They do not want to train. Well, we could make the argument it's because you need more skills. Employers do not want to give out more skills because that would require paying a better wage, a fairer wage. And employers don't want to do that. Employers do not want to give out a fair wage. That's why they don't want to train for higher skills. And that's another thing. There is no company growth. Companies used to have growth. There used to be a reason to work at your company. Nowadays, it's, why should I hire you? When before it's, this is why you should work at it. See, the difference between back then in the 70s and 80s and now, it's employers are saying to potential employees, why should we hire you? When back then it used to be, this is why you should work for our company. They would show a company. They would have benefits. They would have pensions. They would have good packages. It was none of this 401k bullshit where 401k is based on your pay, and your pay is already really low. So you see the problem with this? The problem is your pay is already low. The 401k, your checks, your check is part of your 401k. The money comes out of your check and goes in your 401k. Yes, your employer, they match it like 2% or 3% or whatever, but it's hardly anything. So you're paying out of your own pocket for this 401k bullshit. If I want a 401k right now, I can open up my own 401k. I'm not impressed with an employer telling me that they offer 401k benefits, because the pay that they match is like 2 or 3%. It's pretty much nothing if you think about it. I'd be better off I might as well just open up a 401k at home on my own. It's free. It's free, and it costs nothing. It costs nothing for an employer to give you a 401k. A 401k is free. Okay? Employers don't want to give PTO and vacation and sick time anymore unless, and this isn't even with every company, unless you pass this 90 to 120 day trial. Sometimes it's 6 months or more. Then you can finally have a few vacation days. Then you can finally have a few PTO days or a few sick days. But you got to go through this long trial period. It's usually low pay. It's usually little to no benefits. Health insurance, forget it. There's no jobs giving out health insurance right away off the bat. You got to get hired in to get health insurance right now. And again, the health insurance, most of the time the health insurance is bad unless you're working at, where I used to work at Medline or some medical company. The health insurance benefits are usually bad. They usually don't cover that much, and you usually have a ginormous deductible you got to pay of like $8 to $9 grand or something like that before you're covered by any of it. So the deductible is usually really high. The insurance usually isn't that great to begin with, and most of it comes out of your paycheck anyway. Comes out of your paycheck. You got to pay for the insurance anyway out of your paycheck. The same with the 401k. So besides all that, we're just treated like kids in general. These employers treat people like children. Again, like the previous 2 videos I made with the cupcakes and the brownies and the goodie bag and the fun games and the bouncy houses and the bullshit that nobody wants and the pizza parties, and the list goes on and on and on and fucking on, guys. People are tired of it. We don't want it to be treated like little babies. We are adults in adult bodies, yet we don't have any of the privileges. We don't have any of the rights, any of the things that previous generations had. We can't afford anything. How are we supposed to feel like adults when we can't afford anything? We can't afford any of the luxuries of previous generations. We can't afford houses. We can't afford decent vehicles. We can't, people can't afford to have families. People can't afford anything. So it feels like, some of us were 30 and 40 years old, but it feels like we're still children. We're still in the bodies of children. It's like we never moved out because we can't afford anything, because the prices, inflation is going up. The prices are going up faster than we can make the money. It doesn't matter how many side hustles, how many jobs you have. Eventually, you won't be able to afford anything in America. If things keep going this way, it's over. It's over. All right. So the next reason, people are tired of the American culture. The whole hustle, grind, work for nothing. People are tired of the bullshit they see with Hollywood. They're tired of the same constant rehashed movies, garbage music, Even the video games are becoming trash. Everything, the entertainment industry is becoming trash. People are running out of ideas. Nobody has ideas anymore. There's a bunch of woke bullshit in this country. SJW woke bullshit, where everything has to be politically correct. Nobody can say the wrong thing. Everybody's walking on eggshells, in fear of saying the wrong thing on YouTube, saying the wrong thing on Twitter, getting censored. And that's the other thing, is because free speech is going away. In America, we used to pride ourselves on having free speech, but where is the free speech? Now it's all this hate speech bullshit. And hate speech is just it's a recently used term that we recently started using to cover up, to start covering up for the fact that we're losing our First Amendment rights. And I realize you can't say anything. You can't go around saying you're going to threaten people, you're going to kill people, you're going to hurt people. That I get. But we shouldn't be censoring people just because they didn't like a comment on YouTube. We shouldn't be locking people up for posting certain things that people don't like on Twitter. We shouldn't be deleting comments. All right? We shouldn't be banning YouTube channels. All right? We shouldn't be shadow banning people like YouTube does. We shouldn't be reporting people. We shouldn't be trying to get them banned for the internet just because they said the wrong thing. That goes for everybody. Again, like, I had a recent person on Real Man. He said some things about me, and I had a couple people in the comments that were like, you should report him, you should get his channel taken down. It's like, no, I'm not about that. He said what he said, I said what I had to say, and I moved on. The only thing I had a problem with was he basically told me to kill myself at the end. That I don't agree with. That's not acceptable. But other than that, he's free to have his opinion. And the thing is, just free speech is going away. We should, I don't know at what point this started, but it's to the point where if we don't do something, free speech is going to go away completely. And the other thing is, the Second Amendment's getting taken away. The whole saying, a few bad apples spoils a bunch. The Second Amendment's getting taken away. We're having certain guns removed. In the Constitution, you can argue with me if you want with this, but in the Constitution, it did not say what guns we're allowed to own. We should be able to own whatever we please. We should be able to own guns as long as you're able to pass the proper inspections, as long as you can pass the mental health checks, test. You're not going to kill anybody. You have to go through the courses. We should be able to own what guns we want. But we're being stripped away of our Second Amendment rights. I don't want this country to become like Canada or the UK, where you can't own weapons anymore. You can't own knives or anything that could hurt anybody. That's not what I want. We should be able to own guns here, and the Second Amendment is being stripped away, and we're using the excuse of, well, it's because of this school shooter, it's because of that school shooter. All right? Guns don't kill people. People use guns to kill people. Let me repeat that for you. Guns do not kill people. People use guns to kill people. Guns do not kill people by themselves. So this excuse of, well, why do you need this gun? Why do you need that gun? Well, guns are dangerous. Yes, guns are dangerous in the wrong hands, just like any other weapon is dangerous in the wrong hands. It's up to the person who is using the weapon to decide if they're going to use it for good or if they're going to use it for bad. So that's the other thing, is Second Amendment rights are going away. All right? So people are saying, fuck it, Second Amendment rights are going away. This isn't even America anymore. People are saying fuck it, and they're moving. So that's another reason. All right? And I think the final reason, because I know this video is going on really long video. I'm sorry. I apologize again in advance, guys. The final reason is people are realizing people are so used to being trapped into a consume lifestyle. Buy this, buy that. We're always told that we need the latest gadget, and yes, I'm guilty of this. We're all guilty of this. I have an iPhone 15, but it's for YouTube. But we're always told we need the latest gadget, latest TV, latest projector, latest PS5, latest Xbox, latest boat, latest car. And people are getting we used to get a lot more people used to get into debt to buy these things, right? But I think people are waking up and they're starting to realize what really matters in this life. And it's people who actually care about you. The people that show up for you and are congruent with their actions and are there in the people that are there in your life to, to help you out and be by your side, and who consistently show you that they're there for the right reasons, and they have your back, and they're there to support you always and forever. And they're not the people who have consistently shown you that they are by your side. People are starting to realize that this is what's important in life. My family's important to me. I'm not saying it's specific. My family's important to me, or my friends are important to me, or this person's important to me. This is what matters. None of this materialistic bullshit that I'm working for I can take with me at the end of my life. The only thing that I'm going to really remember at the end of my life, I'm not going to remember the PS5, I'm not going to remember the TV or the nice houses or the nice cars, the nice boats. I'm going to remember the people who stood by my side. I'm going to remember the people who celebrated birthdays with me, Christmases with me. I'm going to remember the people who have supported me with career decisions, or who have helped me out in difficult times. Those are the people who matter to me, and that's what's really going to matter at the end of my life. And I think people are realizing that. And I think that's another reason why people are also leaving America, because in America there used to be a sense of community. Specifically, I'm talking about the States. There used to be a sense of community. Back when I was a kid, there used to be block parties. There used to be people giving out free food there. There used to be connections. There used to be people, if you were in need, you would have neighbors and people you would know who would be by your side, who would help you out in these difficult times, And there used to be a sense of belonging, a sense of community, especially, back in the day where there were more jobs as well. Everybody had roles. But now there are none of these jobs either. Now they're all getting shipped overseas. Now we got to worry about immigration and EAI. So men are feeling left out. Men are feeling like they have no role in society. And, people in general are feeling like they have no role in society. Everything just seems like it's ass backwards right now. When there once was community, when there once was a community of people who were helping each other, who were willing to help each other, now it's turned into every man for themselves. Sorry, we can't help you because everybody's struggling right now. It's a constant struggle to survive in the U.S. And that's left everybody, in a feeling, that's left everybody in a state of desolation. They're feeling isolated. They're feeling desperate. They're feeling the squeeze of hyperinflation and corporate price gouging. And they're not, most people don't have a sense of community anymore. They don't have a bunch of people they can call up, especially men. We don't have a bunch of people. I don't have anybody. On both hands, I have nobody who I can call up right now who would be willing to, help me out with some money if I needed it, or help me, let's say my car broke down, help me move my car. I would have nobody on my phone I have nobody on my phone that I can dial right now who I can say 100% would pick up the phone, drop everything that they're doing, and come help me out. And I don't know any of my friends I don't know anybody who has that either. There's no sense of community anymore. There's no sense of belonging. And people have forgotten what it's like to help each other, to be there for one another, to provide for one another. People have forgotten how to make relationships because of social media and because of their own inherent selfishness. And again, that's not all their fault. It's like you have to be selfish now, because this is all about survival now. This is all about survival. It's all about working and surviving. There's nothing else to really look forward here to anymore. For at one point it was about living, it was about working to live. And now it's working to survive. So people are realizing that. People are finally starting to wake up. They're coming to their senses, and they're seeing that there are still countries around the world, countries like the Philippines, Countries like, in some parts of Latin America, where they're about family, where they're about helping each other, where they're about building a community, where there still is a community, where there still is a sense of belonging, a sense of, of life going on. Everywhere you see in America, there's nothing but sad faces. I see the faces of everybody walking down the street. I see the faces of work. And people are sad, man. People are depressed. People are feeling hopeless. They don't know what to do. And I don't blame them. So, those are the reasons why I believe people are leaving America in droves. This was a very long video, guys. Sorry it took so long. I hope you liked it. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below if you like this video. Like if you like this video. Till next time, guys, as always, all we can do is hope for the best and hope things improve. So, deconstructing narcissism. Talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.